the Trans-Pacific Partnership, hasn't this been a big issue this year so far? Negotiations have been held in secret. John Key has had a chat with Barack Obama about getting a deal done, and the US President is keen. Will it happen, and why are the talks secret? Let's start with you, Peter Dunn.
Well, if you take the second part of your question first...
Why are the talks secret?
These sorts of negotiations are always done secretly.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
And everyone we've been involved in over the last 20, 30 years has been done this way. Will it happen? That's a very good question. I don't know the answer to that. I think we'll know probably within the next couple of weeks. If it doesn't happen then I think it's unlikely this side of the American election.
How come corporations and people like corporations can have intimate knowledge of what's happening within these very, very important negotiations, and members of the public cannot?
They claim they've got intimate knowledge. They've probably got informed knowledge, but they're not actually involved in the talks. They're guessing and speculating like everyone else, and they may have better reasons and better information to be able to do so.
What do you think? Do you think they're secret?
Are
they secret?
They are secret, but we should be doing what the European Commission is doing. So in parallel to our TPP, you've got the Transatlantic Partnership, which is being negotiated by the US with the European Union. And they, this year, made a deliberate decision to make it transparent and to actually consult with the people. So I think we should be doing what the European Commission is doing.
The world's largest ever free trade deal, though. I mean, Labour stitched up the free trade agreement with China, so we've been here before. What is wrong with free trade agreements?
Nothing, but this is not a one-on-one relationship between us and another country. So they're trying to add value to the P4 relationship, which was Brunei, Chile and Singapore. Now, we had a free trade agreement with Singapore, and so adding value is fine, but adding another 8 to the 4, plus another 5 wanting to line up, plus another 3, this will become a P20. It is incredibly big. But actually, I think that the bilateral trade deals are the way to go.
Okay, Sarah Doe, I mean, this is not looking good for dairy. In fact, this is kind of a Clayton's deal, isn't it? So the world's largest free trade agreement, and we get next to nothing for it.
Well, no.
Why be involved? Why can't we just cut our losses and say we're not going to sign it?
Look, absolutely not. I mean, everybody's going in there to get the best deal for New Zealand, and let's put this into context.
Well, we haven't got the best deal. We're not going to get the best deal. That's the thing.
Well, we're going to try to get the best deal, and at the end of the day, this is, partners in this agreement equate to 40% of the world's GDP.
What's it going to
do
for us? Well, Ron Mark, what's the Trans-Pacific Partnership going to do for New Zealanders?
Oh, how the hell do we know? Because we don't know what's in it. And
you've heard Peter Dunn.
Yeah,
but
Peter hasn't read it. Sarah hasn't read it. And, Sarah's a lawyer. And, I mean, my question would be, would you advise one of your clients to sign a sale and purchase agreement for a house without letting them read the contract?
That's a good point.
People don't read the contract. How the hell do we know it's good? And what we do know is that all of the things that people have criticised, the government has first said, no, that's not going to happen. And subsequently, 6 months, 9 months down the line, like the costs for Farmac, like the dairy deal, we have the Prime Minister saying no dairy, no deal. Now he's saying, oh, this is the best.
Yes, but you guys are anti-free trade, aren't you?
That's
you guys are anti-free trade, and you've seen how beneficial it has been with China.
Wallace, this is not a free trade agreement.
What is
this? This is a heads of agreement between corporate entities that undermine the economic sovereignty of nations.
All right, Peter.
And how would he know? Because he hasn't read it.
That is nonsense. This is the biggest free trade agreement by your own admission that's ever been entered into. And the risk for New Zealand, if subject to the deal being okay, the risk for us is not signing it.
Exactly.
All our major trading partners are in. We are then closed out from those markets. So we've actually got to see both sides of this question. It's not just about access, it's about also preventing being shut out from other markets.
For me, globally, the medical specialists are the ones who have been the most outspoken. They're the ones highlighting for them the opportunity cost of being involved in this free trade agreement. The cost of medicines are going to
But that won't be passed on. Yes, I agree with that, but that won't be passed on to the consumer. The government will wear that cost.
The government actually have got a static budget. Farmac's budget hasn't increased from 800 million now for 5 years.
The reason it won't be passed on...
So if our medications are going to double...
Ron, Peter, I'm going to go to the audience and come straight back to you. I'll come straight back to you.
I'm looking around the audience, I'm looking for the quintessential New Zealander, because God knows my Facebook feed's filled up with people with their sort of weird theories about the TPP. I'm looking for someone who's, drinking a beer, eating some fish and chips, wearing a sort of flannel shirt, that kind of guy. Oh, look, here's one. Hello, sir.
How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good.
How's fish and chips?
Delicious.
They are, aren't they? Now, look, you're our everyman right now, whether you like it or not. Are you bothered by the TPP? Do you think it's a good thing?
I agree. There should be more information. Why would we sign an agreement if we don't know what's in it?
Do you think maybe we should have something where it gets negotiated in secret, then we get to decide whether we want it or not?
That's a great idea.
I thought so too. And what are any biggest areas of concern for you?
If there's nothing for dairy in there, then and is it 20% of our exports or 30%? It always keeps getting changed. But if there's nothing in there for dairy, then what are we getting from it?
Yeah, really good point. Thank you, Wallace.
Good point. All right. Here's the thing, Sarah Darrow, that really, I guess, really concerns me. And this is and I'll come to you, Ron, the investor-state dispute settlement clause. So this is where massive corporations can sue a government extraordinarily. We've seen that happen in Australia. We've seen it happen in Ecuador with regards to big tobacco. This is the frightening part. Massive corporations with the ability to sue governments. Are you concerned about that?
Well, no, not really, because at the end of the day, these clauses are in our other free trade agreements. We have never been sued in the past. It's protect against arbitrary decision making. And at the end of the day, we reserve the right to make decisions on public policy for the best interest of New Zealanders.
All right, no, Ron, you can answer that.
Look, this is the biggest problem that we're seeing right now, apart from the fact it's been done in secret. The ISDS, this is not a court where a corporate, an international corporate, takes your country to court. This is a tribunal made up of 3 corporate lawyers. One sits there representing the corporation, one represents the country, every New Zealand taxpayer, and one sits there as adjudicator, and they decide, and there is no right of appeal.
But there have been thousands of arbitrations.
Well, take Germany. Germany's been sued for 7 billion euros because of its nuclear-free position.
All right,
and its
just a final
determination
comment,
to
we've
go
got to move on.
nuclear-free.
Back to the world of reality. 2 things. We've had similar provisions in our Commerce Act
Read it.
passed by a Labor government for 40 years.
No, it's
Second, we're very happy going to the World Trade Organization to fight Australia over things like access for Apple products and winning that battle.
It's not the same thing,
No, it's
Peter.
exactly the same
not the same
principle.
thing.
It's exactly the same
it's not the
principle.
same.
And I bet, Ron,
not the same.
if you're in Parliament in 3 or 4 years' time, we come back here and have the discussion, your fears will be proved to be
If
groundless.
you bring
That's
the
enough.
legislation to the House to be debated in the House and put it before the taxpayer to sign off on
I
it,
think
like
first-
Malaya
We've got
has,
it.
good on you.
I think, first of all, you need
Yeah.
to actually
We
understand
don't do it
the
in
process
secret.
before you
Peter,
start.
Ron,
Then if you
we
know so
have
much,
got
tell
to
everybody
move
what's
on.
in
We've
it.
got to move on.
Understand the rules, Ron.
Guys, this is not on the mat, all right? Look,
Well, yeah, but
keep the discussion...
people that come here
Peter's
have got
done.
to do more than display ignorance.
All right. Well,
Peter's done.
on that note, at Backbenchers TV, stay with us. We're back soon.